What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have a mid-season update in just one day. Well, I guess 2 days. Today's Monday when you're seeing this, and technically it'll be live on Wednesday, but it'll be like Tuesday night with the, I don't know, man. We're getting a new playlist. All right, let's go. All right, so I don't really know exactly when this is going to go live. What I do know is that the Red Bull Wild Ride, I keep wanting to call it Wall Ride for some reason. The Red Bull Wild Ride playlist is going to be in the game as of May 7th. This is the next month of content for Motorfest. So this is sort of a sizable update, and I'm sure they're going to sneak a bunch of other little things in there as well. But May 7th, which is Wednesday technically, is when we're going to be able to play this playlist. So according to the other like main stage resets that we get at the beginning of the month, it usually takes place in the morning after the maintenance. So their servers will go down for maintenance. They'll add in the new content for the new main stage, and then we get to play it in the morning. So I don't think it'll be live for tomorrow night's summit stream, but I just want to talk about this because there's not really any new information that they've put out yet, and I'm sure that they're probably going to put out something either today or tomorrow that sort of teases the new main stage, probably teases the new motorcycle, teases the new playlist, something like that. We'll probably get some little information, so stay tuned for that type of stuff. I'll update you when I see it. But like I said, we've got a new playlist called Red Bull Wild Ride, and that thing is going to be a completely different experience. So I'm actually excited to see what's going to happen with this playlist and if people actually enjoy it. Is it going to bring some players that maybe have went to check out Forza Horizon 5 back and to jump in the game and see what the playlist is all about? Now, do I think it's going to provide longevity for the game? Probably not, because it is just a playlist. But let's take a look real quick at what the playlist actually is, because it is a little bit different. It's a different experience than the normal playlist. So Red Bull Wild Ride, embrace the chaos on May 7th as you navigate all terrain in the challenges spanning the entirety of Maui. So we have a big, basically a Maui-centric playlist, which is nice. We need more events on there. You choose the craziest Red Bull vehicles and perform extreme actions. That's obviously a reference, craziest Red Bull vehicles. That is a reference to the water bike that we should be getting with this particular update. Red Bull drivers are the specialists in their discipline and have set records ahead of you. So you have these Red Bull AI drivers that are going to set the records, and then you have to beat their records to become the ultimate Red Bull Daredevil. Before each of the event, you're going to get a little cinematic. It's going to showcase the Red Bull athletes' performances on those events, and it's going to tease the actions that you're going to have to complete in order to pass that particular event. This is a brand new game mode, and if I scroll down, it's called Action List. This is a new type of event. So in this game mode, you're going to complete a list of actions. To succeed in this, you have to perform them quickly. So you're going to be timed. You have to do all of the actions. The faster you get through all of the actions and get to the finish line, the better time that you're going to have. And if this is in a summit, the more points you're going to get. It'll probably be in a summit either this week or next week. All right, I know I've talked about that in a previous video, so I don't want to go too into depth. That it was just a reminder. What are we getting on May 7th? We got a new playlist. We got a new vehicle. And by the way, the new vehicle is not a new vehicle class. If you take a look at the Ocean and Sky playlist, this is where you have all the boat races. This here is a motocross category for a boat race. Why would motocross be in the category? Because we're getting the water bike in the game, and eventually we'll be able to use it on the boat races. So you notice you can use motocross on the boat races, but it does not say water bike or water motocross or moto ocean or something dumb like that. It is still the motocross category. So this is not a new category of vehicles. Now, the reason that's important is because you're going to need to grind your parts for motocross if you haven't already, because you're going to want to have those parts for the use of the motocross water bike, which is just going to be another motocross bike, but you'll be able to drive it on the water, which is insane. Now, obviously, it's going to be a direct copy of the Robbie Madison bike. It's Red Bull themed. All of the Red Bull vehicles have been very accurate to the real life Red Bull vehicles. So there's really no reason why this water bike would be anything different than the one we see from Robbie Madison. And I think that's really awesome. And he talks about it in the podcast that he did here in the game as being something that they are adding to the game. And it's cool to see it in the game. So anyways, the point is you're going to need to grind for those parts. This is actually a really cool update. I love when they add new game modes, and I love when they add new playlists. Now, don't get it twisted. Obviously, playlists are not something that adds longevity, but when you add a new playlist, it gives players that maybe have been taking a break a reason to come back and jump in and see what's going on. And I like those opportunities, because then maybe they jump in some grand races, or maybe, it just provides an opportunity for other players to come back. So even though I think they should focus on PvP, I'm not going to harp on that in this video. we're excited that a new playlist and a new vehicle is going to be here. So that being said, let's talk about motocross bikes and how to get parts for them. As you can see, I have every single set on my motocross bikes. I'm ready to go, man. I'm prepared and ready to go. The one that you're probably going to need the most is going to be Nitro Chemist. That's this guy here. We go to the upgrade parts. You can see Nitro Chemist, Extra Pump, and Pure. Those are the parts you're looking for in terms of motocross racing. And because these events, these game modes are a little bit different, you might want to just go out and get the other part sets just to be sure, because you never know what you might use. Maybe the XP set, like in the Hoonigan events where you have to score points, maybe that will be useful in that event. So I'm not really sure. I honestly don't remember. I played it months and months ago, and I have no idea how the events are structured, so I can't really give you any details on the events themselves. But it was in the early access, like, I don't even know, a couple months ago, and I just don't remember exactly how it works. So with that, let's talk about getting parts. The best activity for getting parts on this is going to be Hummer Express. That means you need to finish your Electric Odyssey playlist. So go to this, do all these events. Once you've finished this, you then unlock the ability to do this in custom mode. If you don't know this already, it's okay. You're probably a new player, and this will help you. This event is very good for grinding all parts on the cars that are available for this race. Once you've completed this playlist, you've gone through the whole thing, you go up here to vehicle, and you can actually select any of the categories with the exception of like boat and plane, but everything else is here. Everything that's on the ground you can do here. Anyways, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So let's go to motocross. Let's grab the Nitro Chem 450 EXC Red Bull edition, because you know what, shout out to Red Bull for this one. You don't have to put it on clean driving. You don't have to change your difficulty. This has nothing to do with parts. It's not going to change how much you get. However, I did pick the Nitro Chemist just for the purpose of this video. But if you have a loot digger set, or if you have 3 out of the 7 loot digger, put those on. You will get more parts, like instantly more parts. Change all of your affixes to Goldfinger and Lucky. Those are the ones you want when you're doing this. Actually, I'm going to use this one. What am I talking about? Just use this set for the video. There we go. This is the set you want to use. Now, if you don't have all of them, that's fine. 3 out of 7 gets you 50% more parts. You definitely need to do that. If you have those, as you're grinding for parts, make sure that you go and re-roll these to Goldfinger and Lucky when you have the moment to do so. If you have a pink part, re-roll these into Goldfinger and Lucky. It'll give you a shorter time, basically, grinding for parts. Anyways, let's get to it. Here's the method. All right, this one is actually pretty simple. Once you memorize it, you won't have any issues with it. At the start, you're just going to turn all the way to the right. And we're going to get to this road here. Once you get here, it's pretty simple. You're just on this yellow line. You can see on the mini map, you've got the yellow line there. You're just going to be following this until you get to basically where the shortcut and reset are. If I didn't mention it already, then you need to make sure you have rewind turned off in your difficulty settings. So make sure you do that. Once you get to here, following the yellow line, you're going to turn right at this green sign, regain with this road here, and then go straight through these trees. Don't hit anything. When you get past this one, reset. That'll put you on this dirt road. And you're just going to follow this to the next road here. And you can just, I mean, with the motorcycle, you could just go right straight here, man. You don't even have to pay attention to the road at all. You just go around here, try to get around these trees to the top of this hill, and then we're going to just make a hard right-hander and go straight for the finish line. You see how the finish line is right there? It kind of stay to the right a little. You don't want to hit any of these walls. There you go. And we just keep going until you get to the finish line. It's pretty simple. It's very easy to do. It's not something that takes a lot of skill. And you can complete it in, what is this, about 1 minute and 35, it looks like. 34, 35. Minute 35 on motocross. That's pretty good. So every minute and 35 seconds, if you have Loot Digger, we'll show you right here. How many parts did I get here? I got 9 parts, dude. 9 parts. In just 1 minute and 35 seconds, 9 parts. So that's with Loot Digger. You're going to get less if you don't have it. But if you have at least 3 Loot Digger parts, you're definitely going to get a lot of parts. You're going to get at least probably 6, I would say. 6 or 7 if you have at least 3 of those Loot Digger parts. So that is it. That's the whole method. You just grind this over and over and over again. Now, if you really want to mix things up, you can go to treasure hunting. There's a map on my website, militiagamingco.com. Click on the treasure map from Tomco and take a look at that. Then you can go find treasure. Treasure is great because it does reward you quite a bit. You get a lot of parts for treasure, and it does work pretty early on. Like if you don't have loot digger, treasure is a nice one to go for. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get 6 or 7 parts every 1 minute and 35 seconds looking for treasure, because the treasure actually has a 2 or 3 minute like cooldowns. So once you grab a box, there won't be any other boxes on the map for another 2 to 3 minutes. So there you go. So that is it. That's the method. That's how you get parts for motocross, and I strongly recommend you grind it. If you haven't done it already, go do it this week. It is time to get your parts. We're going to get a water bike, and we're going to get a new playlist on Wednesday. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.